Hello Aquarius, Aquarius Rising, Aquarius Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting May 29th, 2017. And a quick reminder for you guys, if you ever do want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with the astrology this week? Well, this week we've got a kind of a polar week, I'll be honest with you. You know, rough in the beginning, great the second half. And at the beginning of the week on Monday, we do have Mars, planet of action, energy, and conviction, in your 5th house of love and romance, forming an opposition to Saturn, currently retrograde in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And we have a situation where a love relationship may actually be causing a rift between you and a friend. And it's interesting because it's like almost the opposite of what happened with your opposite sign, Leo. You know, in their instance, it had to do with a friend picking a bit of a fight with a lover. But you may be noticing that a lover potential, or perhaps something going on that the lover is the one picking the fight this week for you. Now, whether it's just these people will never get along, and that's okay, you're not, it's that they're not dating your friend, that's something that we may need to accept. However, if it's a situation where, it may seem our lover might be antagonizing a friend a little bit, or a love relationship may be just antagonistic in nature towards a friendship group that we're in, it may be something that we do need to discuss, but let's not confront it on Monday, because tempers may be a bit more sensitive than they should be. On Wednesday, we've got Mercury, planet of communications and haste and development, in your 4th house of home and family, forming a gorgeous connection to Pluto, currently retrograde in your 12th house, your past, your privacy, and your hidden zone. And you may actually find that an old opportunity is coming to you through a family member that may actually improve your living situation or your quality of life somehow. This could be money coming back to you through some form of inheritance, or maybe just a big score that a relative got or has. Or quite possibly, you may be finding out an old roommate or an old opportunity to live with somebody new, or live in a neighborhood you prefer, or live in the town you want to live in, is back on the table. So if you're looking to make a transition like that, we do have that available as well. So what's going on with your cards then this week? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of Bliss. And Bliss is kind of an interesting card because it doesn't just talk about following your bliss, it talks about maintaining that standard. Focusing on security and contentment and peace for the sake of itself. And paying attention to people and influences that are good for peace, and paying attention to people who might not necessarily be emotionally available for peace. Sometimes people get uncomfortable in functional, peaceful situations. They don't feel at home. And how do we go about making them feel at home? Or if they can't feel at home, how do we make sure that we can feel at home in spite of that? Or how do we deal with this person in a way where they don't just tromp all over our space? Because the Bliss card is also saying that this is going to be a gorgeous week. It can be an indicator. Some of these cards are indicator cards of how the week is going to go. The Bliss card is saying, Aquarius, your week doesn't have to have any problems at all. Your week doesn't have to have any challenges. And a lot of things are going to be coming from the outside, and choosing to accept them, choosing to let them in, choosing to let them in for better or ill is up to you. We always have free will, whether you like it or not. But with the Bliss card, it's also important to pay attention to the fact that a lot of this stuff we can choose to participate in. It's not beating down our door. Especially this week. Up front, right away, the Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we've got the 3 of Swords upright. There is an opportunity for you to get ahead this week when it comes to work and finances, but you may be feeling like you're being put in a position to betray somebody you care about in the workplace. You may be getting ahead, you may be getting some favorite treatment, but it may not necessarily be fair. You may be feeling like you are set up to betray somebody you care about, somebody you trust, another coworker, an authority figure. And this week there is an incentive involved. Now, whether or not you want to win this way or succeed this way is up to you and your personal code of normative ethics. But I would say, when it comes to, the 3 of Swords upright, maybe it's not necessarily the way to do it. The ends might not justify the means. It could be making a deal with the devil. That being said, the 3 of Swords upright is saying here that you don't have to be put in a position to betray people if you don't want to. One of the things about this card that can be very good in this position, in this area, is that a better alternative to a job opportunity or a promotional prospect you already have is coming on the table. And in the sense of a betrayal, you may turn down somebody who, you know, has been hoping you would take the offer or take the promotion you were working on. But a better alternative may mean that you have to make time for that instead. You know, send them a fruit basket. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we do have the King of Cups upright. And it does look to me like you may actually be reaching out to or reuniting with a friend, in a water sign, a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancer, somebody who carries a lot of those energies in them. And this person is actually offering to go above and beyond for you when it comes to helping you. You know, they're going to be kind of your surrogate this week. They're going to sort of be acting on your behalf, spreading the good word for you. Whether they're going out of their way to help you find a lover, hit the pavement in terms of helping you find a job, anything that you need to hire or recruit them for, they're basically going out of their way and saying, look, I'm kind of here to help you. I'm here to be your willing, you know, second pair of eyes and hands, which is always a nice thing to do. Now, you want to make sure, again, that we accept this person's assistance. You may feel like you want to go it alone. You may feel like you don't want to get people involved. You may feel like if you let somebody help you, they might learn some things about what got us into the situation in the first place and compromise our privacy. Get over it. This person is coming in to try and at least save the day as a helpful sidekick, you know, and I think that you should let them. For your challenge this week with fire, we've got the Five of Pentacles reversed. Accepting help when it is offered. Accepting assistance when it's offered. You know, Aquarius, one of the things about you fixed signs that I say is always an interesting lesson is sometimes you do want to do everything on your own, and sometimes doing everything on our own can also turn us into my way or the highway people. And with the Five of Pentacles reversed, you know, accepting help that we didn't do. Sure, we don't get to take the credit for it, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, more often than not with the Five of Pentacles reversed, we tend to see opportunities where people are more than willing to help more if they know that we are accepting of that help and assistance. Letting other people kind of do work for us may mean that they come up with ideas we never could, even on a good day. And this week you may have a challenge in accepting that as a reality. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we've got the Three of Pentacles reversed. And this card is actually saying that there may be some issues with teamwork breaking down on the family front or even in a romantic situation. You know, when it comes to our partner, when it comes to our kids, there may be a situation where it's almost like somebody's not being a team player. Somebody's deciding they want to be their own version of a lone wolf. And the Three of Pentacles reversed may actually be telling why. Some people want to go their own way. Some people don't work well on a team because they're not good at what you're doing. And they are tired of being put on the spot or feeling embarrassed by that. You know, because the Three of Pentacles reversed can show up where a person may lack qualifications. A person may lack the ability or the skill set that you actually are signing them up for. Maybe you want your child or your crush or your lover to be there with you and do this with you. But maybe they're deep down, this isn't their thing, they're not good at it, they know it, and they're kind of trying to drift out only because it's unpleasant, and they know they're not doing a good job. Again, it's okay. You'll find other ways to bond. So that is your horoscope, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.